Musari.
If you love One Piece as much as I do, then this video is just for you. Today on ViniiTube, we're diving into the wonderful world of One Piece and exploring the top 20 most epic attacks. Are you ready to set sail and revisit some of the most jaw-dropping, heart-pounding, and visually stunning moments? Get your gears ready, because this is gonna be a wild ride.
H.
Starting off the list with Kuzan, aka Aokiji, aka the chillest guy in One Piece. Literally. He may look easygoing and laid back on the outside, but don't let his chill aura fool you. Once it's time to fight, Kuzan doesn't hold back and unleashes the icy fury of his Hie no Mi, a devil fruit that allows its user to manipulate ice at will. We get to see Aokiji's deadly attack, Ice Age, against a sea monster. As soon as Kuzan unleashes this attack, the entire sea along with the monster freezes in an instant. But the truly terrifying part, it's not just the fact that he can freeze anything, it's the ridiculous speed at which he can do it. Anyway, after watching this attack, it's safe to say that Bro could single-handedly end global warming. And the way he says Ice Age is so damn cold. This attack was so badass back in the day. Moving on to Jinbei, the humblest fishman you'll ever come across in One Piece. You see, Jinbei has a legendary reputation, and he's got the skills to back it up too. Whether he's fighting on land or ruling the seas, Jinbei is a force of nature who doesn't need flashy moves to show you just how dangerous he is. Remember, he's the kind of guy who decided to go up against Big Mom. During that fight, we see Jinbei using his epic vagabond drill that left our jaws on the floor. This fishman karate technique lets Jinbei focus all of his power on a single punch and lets his punch do the job. In the middle of his battle, Jinbei unleashed the vagabond drill right into Big Mom's belly, sending her flying off the ship. Big Mom learned the hard way. When Jinbei says get off the ship, you better take his advice seriously. Otherwise, he'll make sure you're off the ship one way or another. Ah yes, the One Piece character whose backstory literally moved us all to tears. Brook is the Soul King of the Straw Hat Pirates, who's not only unique, but also one of the most unforgettable characters from One Piece. And his techniques, they're just out of this world. One of his most badass and absolute fan-favorite techniques is Hanauta Sancho, Yahazu Giri. He uses it against Dararan, and before he could comprehend what was happening, he was knocked out. Brook's sword slashes with such speed and precision that it appears as though he hasn't even moved. The technique's so fast and smooth that it makes his attacks look almost effortless, but the results speak for themselves. His enemies get cut in half before they even have a chance to blink. Yahazu Giri is the kind of move that makes you question reality itself.
Stomp!
Going to Nico Robin, the embodiment of beauty and brains. Not only is she the Straw Hat Pirates' walking encyclopedia, she also plays a crucial role in helping them take down their enemies with style. Robin's Hana Hana no Mi, or the flower fruit, grants her the ability to sprout multiple limbs anywhere she pleases. Yep. You heard that right. She can pop out extra arms and legs out of walls, ceilings, or even the ground, making her one of the most versatile fighters in the Grand Line. A technique Gigantesco Mano Stomp allows her to create a pair of massive legs, and those legs stomp on her opponent, creating little cute stickers out of them. I'm just kidding. You can imagine how painful it would be to get stomped by massive feet. I know you might think that getting stomped like that sounds oddly appealing, but trust me, it's far from a pleasant experience.
Because it's so much fun, Chan. Get it?
But let's talk about our lovely, goofy, and rubbery protagonist, Luffy. Look, don't let his goofy exterior fool you. When Luffy's in a fight, you'd be forced to think, was this guy ever goofy? Anyway, Luffy can use a lot of techniques and attacks thanks to his Gomu Gomu no Mi Devil Fruit. One of his Gear 3 techniques named Gomu Gomu no Red Rock is especially noticeable because of its glorious display of power. You see, Red Rock is basically a combination of Gomu Gomu no Elephant Gun and Gomu Gomu no Red Hawk. Luffy activates Gear 3, inflates his fist, and channels advanced Busoshoku Haki into it, setting it ablaze. Then he delivers a massive, flaming punch that's as powerful as it is fiery. And who was the luckiest recipient of this fiery smackdown? None other than Kaido, the supposedly indestructible Yonko who thought he was untouchable. But let me appreciate the animation and emotional impact of this scene. It was just incredible. True One Piece fans know exactly what I'm talking about.
俺はモンキー D ルフィ、お前らを超えて海賊王になる男だ。
Next up, we have Marco, the flyest member of the Whitebeard Pirates. Marco looks like a pretty average and laid-back guy until he unleashes his powers. He's truly a living legend. Marco's got himself the Toritori no Mi model, Phoenix, which lets him transform into a majestic phoenix or a human phoenix hybrid whenever he feels like it. Fun fact, this fruit is one of the rarest and most powerful devil fruits because it combines the abilities of a Zoan with the traits of a Logia. And we're not talking about just any phoenix here. This bird is on fire, and not in a metaphorical way. In his fight against King and Queen, Marco unleashes his blue bird, which allows him to attack his enemy with his powerful and super hot blue flames. People often think his flames are only for healing, but Marco's here to remind everyone that they can also send you straight to the afterlife if you're not careful. But there's one attack that we just have to see, and it's Eustace Kid's Punk Clash. Eustace Kid is known for his rebellious spirit and is famous for causing chaos. Being the captain of the Kid Pirates, Eustace is known for his ruthless fighting style and his extremely dangerous devil fruit, Jiki Jiki no Mi. Now, this devil fruit lets Eustace control metal, creating magnetic fields around him. You can already guess how painful that sounds, can't you? Anyway, one of Eustace's best attacks is Punk Clash, which he uses against Big Mom. So, what he does is magnetize his target with a sign and increase their level of attraction, causing them to attract countless metal objects. And yeah, Big Mom really got buried under a mountain of steel beams. Well, Kaido did say Kid needed more mass to deal damage, if you know what I mean. Also, fun fact, the name of this attack was inspired by the British punk rock band The Clash. Of course, there's Katakuri, the man, the myth, the Mochi Master. You see, Katakuri's no ordinary guy. He's a 16-foot tall giant with muscles and the kind of vibe that you'd want to stay away from. Katakuri's devil fruit, Mochi Mochi no Mi, allows him to create, control, and transform his body into mochi at will. You can imagine how sticky his ability is. During his fight against Luffy, Katakuri uses his special Buzzcup Mochi to trap him. There was no way for Luffy to break free from his mochi, and he could only tell Katakuri to put him down. So, what did Katakuri do? He literally put him down. What's interesting about this attack is that the mochi spikes are sharp enough to cause pain just by spinning and staying stuck on them, yet sticky enough to keep you trapped. Seriously? Leave it to Oda to create a terrifying villain whose power is based on sweets.
Oh, donuts. うましドーナツ。地獄を見せてやる。
The battle between Sanji and Queen was nothing short of epic, a clash that had fans on the edge of their seats, and for good reason too. It was the fight where we got to see Sanji's true potential. He's not just a cook or a ladies man, Sanji's a true fighter to the core who's not easy to take down. Things get interesting when Sanji starts questioning his own body. After all, he's part of the Vinsmoke family, who are basically the super soldiers of the One Piece world. So when Sanji realizes his body's becoming more like a machine thanks to his genetically modified DNA, he's got to decide whether to embrace it or reject it. In this fight, Sanji activates his hell memories, which literally showed hell to Queen. It's basically a super hot kick with Sanji's leg engulfed in super hot flames, and those flames couldn't be extinguished easily. Fun fact, Sanji's hell memory was so strong, his old theme started playing. Sabo's the kind of comeback story and the long-lost brother who had us cheering for him. After consuming Mira Mira no Mi, the devil fruit that once belonged to Ace, Sabo transformed into a formidable force. But here's the thing, even before he's got his hands on those fiery powers, Sabo was already a force to be reckoned with. Sabo used Ryosoken, a hand-based martial art, at just the age of 17. Sabo slams his haki-infused fists into the ground, creating a powerful impact that sends shockwaves in all directions. This technique sends the force of his attack straight to the target's core, and it's powerful enough to turn the tide in what seems like a hopeless situation. You've got to love a guy who can literally shake the ground beneath his enemy's feet. It's crazy to think that Sabo at only 17 could use haki, while Luffy and Ace just left their village at that age. Sabo, he's just so underrated. Hey, before we dive into the top 10 attacks, can you just take a second to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already? It really keeps our sales full and motivates the team to keep making better videos for you to enjoy. Alright, thanks. Let's move on to the top 10. You definitely don't want to meet this surgeon on the operating table unless you're looking to lose a few limbs, and not in a good way. As the captain of the Heart Pirates and one of the worst generations, Law has created a reputation for being incredibly cool as well as dangerous. Law's Room is one of the most iconic and fearsome abilities in the world of One Piece. When Law activates his room, he creates a spherical space where he has complete control over everything within its boundaries. Think of it as his personal operating theatre, where the laws of physics and reality bend to his will. One of the most jaw-dropping demonstration of Law's room was when he didn't just cut Virgo in half. No, that would have been too easy. Instead, he sliced Virgo clean through, along with the entire Punk Hazard Mountain. How crazy is that?
歯車を壊したぞ。もう誰も引き返せねえ。Portgas D. Ace, a pirate with so much potential but such a tragic life. Ace's claim to fame was his Mira Mira no Mi devil fruit that turned him into a walking flamethrower. With the ability to transform into the fire, shoot fire, and pretty much become fire, Ace was a walking, talking natural disaster. We get to see Ace's epic display of power against Baroque Works when he destroys their entire fleet using his signature move, Fire Fist. The whole thing went down in seconds, leaving everyone, Straw Hats included, completely stunned. Luffy's crew had seen some crazy stuff, but this was on a whole different level. And did you notice that this was the only time Zoro seemed to be scared of someone? You know you're a boss when even Zoro is shook.
Next up we have Whitebeard, the guy who's named Whitebeard for having a white moustache. Need to solve that mystery someday. However, he does redefine the term badass. I mean, I know I'd like to be that cool at that age too. As the captain of the Whitebeard pirates and one of the most notorious 4 emperors, Whitebeard, also known as Edward Newgate, was an absolute powerhouse, proving that even in his twilight years, he was still a force of nature that you wouldn't want to mess with. His devil fruit Gura Gura no Mi literally turned him into an earthquake-making machine, destroying everything and anything he wanted. Imagine being able to create seismic waves with a mere swing of your fist. Yeah, that's Whitebeard for you. His power was so immense that he could cause tsunamis, split the very sky, and shake the world to its core. And if that wasn't enough, Whitebeard used it against Akainu, fueled by his rage after Ace's loss, and not only destroyed him, but the entire marine fleet as well. Smashing her way into the list, Big Mom proves that size does matter, especially when it comes to devouring everything in sight. Charlotte Linlin, better known as Big Mom, is one of the most intimidating and downright entertaining pirates out there. Her Soru Soru no Mi devil fruit grants her the ability to control souls, which she uses in the most creative and downright creepy way. Big Mom's crew is made up of homies, which are living beings created from everyday objects infused with souls. So yeah, she's got everything from talking teapots to animated candy. One of Big Mom's signature moves, God of Lightning Tenjin, is just glorious. She takes control of Zeus, her lightning cloud, and sends bolts of lightning crashing down from the clouds in all directions, creating a massive thunderstorm. The lightning is smart enough to track and change direction, so it can hit anyone trying to dodge or hide. She first uses this shocking display of power against the worst generation on the roof of Onigashima. Mama is surely a walking natural disaster.
Come, sorry!
'We also have the legend who turned the entire world upside down with his name. I'm talking about Goldie Roger, who lived large and left a larger legacy. Goldie Roger was the top tier of top tier, the Grandmaster of pirates. Known for his massive ship, the Oro Jackson, Roger sailed across the Grand Line, leaving a trail of legends in his wake that made the whole world sit up and take notice. Roger once fought against Odin in the past and made him feel the intensity of his divine departure, making him fly to a distance with just a single slash of his sword. After watching Roger use this move effortlessly and not in a flashy way, it's evident how this guy was just on a whole other level. But I gotta say, Roger running to fight Odin like a child in a candy store and then using a powerful attack is really funny for some reason.
一大三千大戦世界
Zoro vs Pika was one of Zoro's most legendary fights, as it showed us how incredibly strong Zoro is. Zoro's the billion-fold world trikinocosm is one of his most jaw-dropping, mind-blowing techniques that turns his already legendary swordsmanship into something truly otherworldly. This move is introduced during Zoro's epic showdown with the gigantic stone giant Pika in the Dressrosa arc. Pika, with his rock-solid defenses, was proving to be quite the challenge, so Zoro had to dig deep and pull out something extraordinary. And really, this technique that makes Zoro looked like a deity of destruction with a sword. He literally cut Pika in half with a single slash of his sword. This scene stands out as one of the most coldest moments in anime history. From the way the move's epic name was delivered, to Zoro's incredible build-up, the sheer impact and sound of that slash, the intense voice acting, and everyone's stunned reactions. It all just came together perfectly.
上出来だ
火 Kaido is the biggest and the baddest of the four emperors. He always, and I mean always, makes a big entrance. If there's a definition of tough as nails in the world of One Piece, it would definitely be Kaido. The reason why Kaido's so strong is his mythical Zoan devil fruit that turns him into a massive fire-breathing dragon. Known as the strongest creature in the world, Kaido's resilience is legendary. This guy has survived everything from being executed to jumping off Sky Island for fun, only to get up and laugh it off. And when this guy faces off someone like Luffy, there's nothing but destruction. We get to see Kaido's legendary display of power when he uses his final attack, Blazing Bagua, against Luffy. Using this technique, Kaido can breathe out incredibly hot flames from his mouth. These flames are so intense that they gradually cover his entire body and create a massive dragon avatar that's even bigger than his usual dragon form. The heat is so extreme that anything the flames touch gets instantly vaporized, making Kaido nearly untouchable in battle. If he used that technique in the beginning, the war would have been over in an instant. This is a technique that Luffy used against Kaido, and that was the only technique that could have worked against him. When Luffy unleashes his Bajarangan, he goes full power mode. He charges up, his fist glowing with all the strength of Gear 5th, and then bam! He delivers a punch so strong, it creates a shockwave that can knock out even the most toughest opponent. Imagine a fist so huge that it dwarfs the island of Onigashima. That's right, Luffy's managed to create a punch bigger than the entire island. And Kaido? Well, his face is saying that he would love to get beaten up by something so epic. So, what did we learn today? If you can't defeat them, one punch them.
King, 俺はジョイボーイが誰だか分かった。誰ですか？この先俺を倒した男だ。カムサリ。
Moving on, we have Shanks, the calm and cool captain of the Red Hair Pirates. He's mostly known for his charming personality and laid-back attitude, and not to forget his timely entrances. I mean, do you think he's just chilling at the back with a popcorn tub waiting for his entry every once in 6 months? No? Okay, but after watching him using Roger's technique, Divine Departure, we love him for a whole other reason. When Shanks decides to demonstrate this technique, he didn't hold back. In a jaw-dropping display of raw strength, he used Divine Departure to one-shot Kid and his entire crew. Shanks had to make Kid understand that there's a reason why even the world government doesn't mess with him. The fact that Shanks single-handedly takes down not only Kid but his entire crew, along with Giants, demonstrates that there's a level of power beyond the Yonko that's still waiting to be revealed. This moment was incredibly satisfying because Kid finally faced the consequences of his arrogance. It perfectly illustrates why even admirals fear Shanks. In the world of One Piece, acknowledging your enemy's threat ensures victory, while underestimating them leads to defeat. Let's end this list with Garp and his legendary move Galaxy Impact that literally shook the galaxies. It's such an epic display of power that's as mind-blowing as it sounds. Garp's Galaxy Impact is essentially a punch so powerful that it can create shockwaves strong enough to resemble the impact of a celestial event. His strength here is off the charts, demonstrating why he's one of the top marine legends. He uses this deadly technique against the pirates who had kidnapped Kobe, his beloved student. It's as if he's not just hitting the target but creating a cosmic event. Anything in the vicinity is turned to nothing but rubble, leaving nothing but a crater where once there was solid ground. As soon as he unleashes his Galaxy Impact, everything within the vicinity starts becoming dust. It genuinely makes me feel as if Garp could actually make the entire Earth shake with his single punch. The hype of this scene is just unbelievable. Wow, with that attack, we've reached the end of today's video. I had a blast going through these epic moments. It almost makes me want to start watching One Piece all over again. If you got time, why not check out Top 20 Showcases of Power by the Straw Hats. Alright, this is ViniiTube signing off.